So what's going on, everybody? I'm back, at least for the time being. I've been just really busy with work and everything, so hadn't really been able to sit down in front of the good old camera here and, give my thoughts and opinions on the goings-ons in wrestling. But with the draft just this past week and with the Night of Champions just now getting over, I figured, hell, why not? I'll do a video. Actually, I've been trying to do a video, but they kept being too long. So I'm going to try my best to keep this one short. First of all, just going to go through the pay-per-view real quick. We had Mickie James retain, which was actually a pretty good Diva match, which I kind of expected it to be. Then we have, let's see, Hardy retained the U.S. title, which I kind of figured that and Miz and Morrison beat Finlay and Hornswoggle, which I kind of both saw both people in those matches retain just because their opponent, they all were all in ECW, so I didn't really see any reason for titles to change hands. Then we had Holly and Rhodes against DiBiase, which turned out to be Rhodes turning on Holly and getting with DiBiase, and DiBiase keeping up with his promise and winning a title in his debut match. I personally didn't see this coming. I don't know about the rest of y'all, but it could be a pretty good tag team, just seeing as how both guys, they're pretty new. I mean, yeah, I know Cody he's been in it for, a few months or whatever. Well, actually probably longer than that, but, still, I think it could probably be a pretty good team. Of course, we didn't really see that much from DiBiase, besides, him making the finishing move and the pin on Holly, but that was about it. Except for those that probably, watch other, I can't think of the name of their programs or whatever, wrestling stuff, and, have seen them there. Anyway, moving on, Mark Henry won the ECW title, which that was no surprise, seeing as how he was the only guy on ECW now, being Kane and Show were on Raw. So that was no surprise. And then the two title matches, I didn't know what to think. It could have went two different ways. Obviously, Edge keeping it, meaning Cena would win, or Triple H would win, meaning Batista would win. But it didn't turn out that way. Edge ended up retaining, and so did Triple H, meaning both WWE and World Heavyweight titles are now on SmackDown. How though? I don't really see the point behind this. So the only thing I can think of is somehow, because we all know, usually after the draft, it's not like it really matters because people jump from show to show anyway. Unless they do some kind of special rubber match between Cena and Triple H at like SummerSlam or something. That's the only thing I can think of, and Cena ends up getting it then. That's the only thing I can think of. Because I don't really see them keeping the WWE title or, mainly the WWE title on SmackDown that long. Then, another point to make there is, I have to say, I got overly excited. I kept thinking since Edge had won, Triple H was going to lose and Cena was going to win, and then, as we all saw, at first we thought it was all over because of the FU. Didn't get the pin on time. Then he started getting the STFU in. Triple H almost didn't get the counter. He did. Got the pedigree. A couple minutes later, boom, it was over. So yeah, it was actually a pretty decent match for once. So, like I said, because of that, I could probably see there being a rubber match, seeing as how they've both won one match. And both guys have retained. Cena retained 2 years ago. Now Triple H is retained. So could be interesting. Anyway, Kofi Kingston won the Intercontinental Championship match. For some reason, I don't have that written down on here. But anyhow, that actually kind of was a pretty boring match. Surprisingly, I would have thought it would have been pretty, high-paced. But, oh well, what do you expect from WWE? Not much to say about the draft, really. I think some of the moves were good just because give us new storylines, new things to see, new opponents that haven't went against each other in a long time, so on and so forth. So, like Ray, Jeff Hardy going to SmackDown, Umaga on SmackDown, which, as far as I can remember, he hasn't ever been on SmackDown, so that could be interesting. Moving Kennedy back to SmackDown, I don't know. I think it was mainly just because they were kind of running out of people to give him on Raw. Moving Matt Hardy to ECW, I didn't really see the point in that. That was kind of horrible. I wish they would have kept him on SmackDown. Could have possibly seen the Hardys get back together. I don't know. I'm sure. And then, of course, the horrible move of putting JR on SmackDown and Michael Cole on Raw. I just think that's horrible because JR has been with Raw ever since it started. Either whether he was backstage or at the desk. But oh well. I'm sure there's plenty more things here. If I would have had time, I would have done it probably more closer to when it happened, done a full video on it, but I don't really feel like tonight. Anyway, and a couple other things to mention. One, for Tennessee fans, Tennessee Titan fans, which I'm sure there's not a lot of y'all out there. I'm sure y'all Titans suck, but hey, I'm a Tennessee and I stand behind my team, you know what I'm saying? Anyhow, tickets for them go on sale July 12th, which is not next Saturday, but the Saturday after, at 10 a.m. And also be looking out for that, starting in the fall when it all gets started up. I'll be doing, at least once a week videos on, NFL news and, scores and all kinds of shit like that. So I guess that's about it. Oh, and also for Tennesseans or anybody in the surrounding area, I was looking up on WWE.com, and when was it? I think it was August 4th, I believe. Raw is going to be in Knoxville, and then sometime in September, I want to say September 15th or somewhere in there, about the middle of September, they're going to be in Memphis, Tennessee. So, for Raw as well. So, anyhow, I guess that's it for now. So, until next time, I'm going.